Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ruchi Shirudkar, founder director Pediatric. As we were doing a lot of sessions online, I have got lots of questions, and today I am not discussing any particular remedy or any particular rubric, or I'm just going to discuss how we should study. This is very, very important. This I have learned very hard in my 14-15 years of practice. आपको और कोई भी रेमेडी जो हम पढ़ना चाहते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल हम कैलकेरिया काप को समझना चाहते हैं, तो व्हाट डिफिकल्टी वी एज स्टूडेंट्स यूज टू फील इज, अगर हम रूब्रिक स्टडी करें तो एक रेमेडी में 500 to 600 रूब्रिक्स है. अगर हम उसका पर्सनालिटी स्टडी करें तो हार्ड वर्किंग से लेके ऐसा लगता है कि व्हेन यू एक्चुअली स्टडी दिस यूज्ड टू हैपन विद मी, ऐसा लगता था कि सभी यार ये तो मेरे में भी है, यार ये तो मैं भी करती हूँ. एंग्जाइटी है या बहुत केयरफुलनेस है या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. सो हेयर आई वुड लाइक टू से कि जब आप कोई रेमेडी पढ़ते हैं तो उसका एक कोर होता है एंड बाकी सब एक्सप्रेशंस होते हैं. Same way, when a patient comes, you take a case for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depend. तो आप उसकी पूरी लाइफ हिस्ट्री अगर आप देखने जाएंगे तो आपको बहुत कन्फ्यूजन होगा. तो आप हमेशा जब कोई केस में आप पेशेंट का बेसिक डिमांड क्या है, बेसिक दुख क्या है, एक सिंपल लैंग्वेज में उसकी सुई किस बात पे अटक गई है, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. कई बार नहीं भी अटकी होती, लाइक वेलेडोना है, या वेलेडोना कब आएगा आपके पास क्लिनिक, अगर वो फ्रिवलस है, लाफिंग स्पीकिंग वेन पे है, तो बेलेडोना कब क्लिनिक आएगा, जब उसकी फ्रीडम अफेक्ट होने लगती है. बेलेडोना को फ्रीडम चाहिए, लिबर्टनिज्म चाहिए, वो घूमना चाहता है, उसको लगता है बीमारी से जब ये अफेक्ट हो गया तब. तो आपको ये समझना है कि ये बीमारी से XYZ पेशेंट को क्या तकलीफ हो रही है, पेशेंट का कोर क्या है, ये बीमारी पेशेंट की दिनचर्या में या उसके जीवन में क्या तकलीफ कर रहा है. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट द चाइल्ड और एन अडल्ट इज फेसिंग बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इलनेस एंड व्हाई ही नीड्स टू फाइंड अ डॉक्टर एंड व्हाट ही इज एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम अ डॉक्टर. There are so many rubrics that are very, very close to each other, and sometimes we get confused. I will give you some small examples which I have found very useful in my practice. For example, hopeful, optimistic, and positiveness, right? So when you will say that the patient is hopeful, when you will say it is optimism, and when you will say he's positive, right? Hopeful, I'll explain one of the each, right? So hopeful कब बोलते हैं हम, जब उसको आशा होती है, he has some hope, I had this cancer issue, but I am hopeful that it will get fine by the treatment or chemotherapy or homeopathy or whatever. So this is hopeful. Now comes second, optimism. What is optimism? Whether the glass is half full or half empty. So whenever they see a glass, they see it half full. For example, a person is diagnosed with the cancer and the patient says, look at the brighter side. It is at least in stage 1. So they would always look at the brighter side of whatever condition that they are facing. So they are called as optimism. Then you will take optimism and not hopeful. And when you will take positiveness, when the patient would say, no, I am very sure that my disease is going to get cured. They are very, very positive. There is not an iota of or a small doubt also that they have कि यार नहीं हुआ तो, then we are going to. So in this same way, try to understand rubrics and differentiate them and trying to understand what are the finer differentiation. What is the difference between anger and irritability? There are two rubrics, anger children in, irritability children in. What is the difference between anger contradiction from, contradiction intolerant of, irritability contradiction from? Are you understanding? Anger is gussa. I get angry, and irritability is chid. He's always irritable. You don't say he's all. So you have to understand these finer meanings. This is the task that I'm giving you all, to find out the things, like I said, of hopeful, optimism, positiveness. In the same way, what we commonly feel is, what is the difference between complaining and lamenting? So what is the difference between complaining? Complaining is to a person from where you can get a solution, and lamenting is dukh rona, where people say what the government is doing, there is no issue, there are no roads done, they're talking in a group of friends and they're lamenting about it. So this is lamenting pains about, lamenting condition about his, lamenting day and night. So then once you understand the rubric, then you can go to the sub rubrics and understand it. Two ways that you can always study is, first, that you study the rubric and the repertory. Second, you study materia medica, so you understand the core of each remedy. And what is complaining? Coming back to complaining and lamenting. Complaining is when you do it to a particular, there is always a complaint box. There is never a lamenting box. So you complain to the authority. A student complains to the teacher that this child is troubling. So these finer differentiation and understanding of English rubrics is very, very important. What is the difference between anger, vexation, indignation, and mortification? Are you understand what is tormenting? So in the same way, these are the tips that I'm giving you. These, in the same way, you have to study. We feel we know the meaning, but actually we don't know, because there are very, very fine differentiation between these words. So always see the dictionary. Always see the dictionary. Don't hesitate. Don't feel, I to know, pata hai na gussa kya hota hai. I know what is anger. You don't know. We all don't know. It is not you. We all. So don't hesitate to see a dictionary. First, second thing. There is one obvious meaning that we all can see, and second is the subtle meaning or, hypothetical meaning of that rubric. For example, there is one rubric: delusion mistakes stove for a tree and tries to climb it, and there is a remedy in it, which is hyoscyamus. So why hyoscyamus mistakes stove? Do you never climb on a stove? So why hyoscyamus mistakes stove for a tree and try to climb it? Because how will you see it in patient is that judgment is not there. So people who are very thin probably would come and say that I am taking, vitamin tablets to get fat, or probably I am taking these syrups so that so you don't gain weight by these syrups. So he's not able to judge that this syrups will not help me in climbing in the sense to fulfill my objective, and he's taking vitamin tablets instead of it. So we use it this way. So there are some direct rubrics and there are some indirect rubrics where you have to derive a meaning out of it. I'll give you one more example of it, the rubric of plumber. Our sir has taught this rubric in a seminar, and I really loved how he derived the meaning of it. So the rubric says, delirium urinating on floor. So the person is delirious. Delirious doesn't mean that he's mad. You can use it in every day, you and me and everybody. Urinating on floor. Urinating on floor in the sense you're not supposed to urinate on floor, and you are urinating on the floor. So what case he had discussed, I still remember it very, very clearly, is that the patient had the problem of piles, hemorrhoids. And what he was doing, he had come to the doctor to getting his child, but he was asking the receptionist, what we should do for these hemorrhoids, have you got any idea? Or he was asking his friends, but he's not asking the doctor where we are supposed to. Are you understanding? So he's urinating at a place where he's not supposed to do. So this is delirium urinating on floor, which is a characteristic of plumber. So in the same way, there are few rubrics that are very, very characteristic of a remedy. For example, they are called a single medicine rubric, and they really help you in some of the cases. For example, fear superstition. What is fear? See, now again I would like to point out here is, for example, what is the difference between anxiety and fear? Anxiety is always of the unknown, and fear is always of known. Are you getting me? For example, I am anxious before exams. But if I ask a child or myself that why are you anxious, probably I don't have an answer. Marks kam aayenge, or I don't know whether I will be able to memorize all that I have learned, or I have not studied. So it's a vague kind of a feeling where you're not sure, you cannot pinpoint what are you worried about. And fear, you can always pinpoint. For example, I have a fear of dark, I have a fear of height. So coming back to the rubric, fear superstitious. Superstitious is where we have you know, illogical beliefs. For example, billi rasta kaat gayi, yeah, milk bahar aa gaya is not good, and then you fear those. One way of taking it. Other way is you have some illogical beliefs in your mind, like every Wednesday something bad happens with me, or every Wednesday I get cough. This belief has been there in your mind, or every July month I will end up with some pains or the other. So when you have fear before that, before July approaches, say in the month of Feb or March, you start getting that fear ki yaar, July aa raha hai, I will end up with some suffering. So this is a superstition which doesn't have any objectivity or logic attached to it. And then you are getting afraid because of it. So it is fear superstitious. Which remedy? There's only one remedy, which is Rustox. In the same way, delirium, light, desire, for. So when you say of these singular rubrics of a medicine, it strikes, delirium, light, desire is gelsemium, calcarea carb, and light desire for positive is gelsemium. Right? So why gelsemium is light desire positive and why calcarea carb is in delirium light desire for? This we have to understand. And if in a case you get this kind of a feeling, this patient is running around, उसको reports भी दिख गई, फिर भी उसको लगता है कि ये क्या है, ये बीमारी क्या है, he's going little off the track, and you understand this patient has delirium light desire for, it solves all your case and you can give calcarea carb. So these singular rubrics are also very, very important to study. So when you study a medicine, go to the repertory. There is a key called as FN F5. You click those two keys together. There is a chart that pops up which says, and you can put the remedy abbreviation in that chart and the mind chapter and extract, and there is one more column over there where you can put singular rubrics. So the rubric size you can put 1, and then you can study all the singular rubrics of that remedy, so you understand the core of the remedy. This is one thing which is only covered by this remedy, and there are some rubrics which are covered by only say 2-3 remedies. So if you understand, I'll give you a very simple example. For example, jealousy children in when newborn gets all the attention. So there are only, I think, 2 remedies, ignitia and hyoscyamus. So when you see a small child, say 6 years, 7 years, and he has got a younger brother who's just 6 months, 8 months, who's newly, come into the house, and the patient, you see that your patient, that the elder child is your patient, and he is getting jealous about it. So you are only narrowed down with 2 remedies. Are you understanding? So now you have to differentiate only between ignitia and hyoscyamus. Are you understanding? So you have to understand these rubrics and these remedies. So what is the difference between ignitia jealousy and hyoscyamus jealousy? Ignitia is very consensuous, very moralistic. So ignitia will really not harm the smaller sibling, whereas hyoscyamus can go to any length. You can push the child or trouble the child. So these small ways it would make your practice a little easier, a much easier, I would say. So the key to a good practice and a good understanding is just hard work. It's just hard work. Study. If you don't have patience, if you started your new practice, don't get disheartened that I'm not able to do. Even it's been 16 years of my practice. There's not even a day that I don't study. There's not even a day I can see videos on YouTube, or I can pick up my old seminars, notes or something. There are some things which we often forget. So you should always go back and read. There are some set of rubrics that we are using it day and out, and there are some rubrics which are not using so often. So it's just, there are thousands and thousands of rubrics, and it's practically impossible to learn each and every. So there are few rubrics that we see it very often. There are few remedies that we see it very often. For example, calcarea, kalis, natrums, phosphorus, lyco, sulfur. And there are few remedies which we do not, but we see, but not that often, probably rare remedies like ozone, vanilla, triticum vulgaris, salix, though we are seeing these patients now. Earlier we were not able to see because we were not aware of these remedies. But still, if you So the basic key is know the common remedies, know the common rubrics, understand the common rubrics, and then understand the core of the remedy कि ब्रायोनिया का दुखती रग क्या है, ब्रायोनिया को क्यों डिल्यूजन पुअर है, ब्रायोनिया को क्यों हमेशा बिजनेस की चिंता रहती है, या कैलकेरिया कार्प क्यों डिलीरियम लाइट में है, या हायोसाइमस को क्यों बिट्रे का फियर है. You know, we will take each of these remedies from pediatric angle and as an adult also, but this whole video is basically to make you understand how we should study and how we should make a totality and go ahead. One more important tip is, कई बार क्या होता है कि जब हम when we take a case we are not very sure of the rubric, but we understand, you know, this patient is in despair, or we understand that this patient is complaining, or there is a lot of grief but it is silent, or you know, the further quality of that rubric we are not able to understand. So what I do it so often, you know, F4, there is a key on your laptop called as F4. You just put it and there is a search window that comes. Just put that feeling. For example, I would put despair, or you know, I would put even diseases like liver. So there is some chronic patient who has some liver problem, or I have a fear liver, or a fear breast tumor, or a cancer, or I have understood that the patient is anxious because he has chest pain. So I can put chest, heart, pain, you know, similar rubrics, so that I can understand what all rubrics can come from it. Are you understanding? So आप सर्च की में वो वर्ड डालिए जिसको लेके आप बहुत श्योर हैं कि ये मेरे पेशेंट में है, और उससे रिलेटेड जितने भी रूब्रिक्स आते हैं उनको आप स्टडी करिए, उनके बीच के फाइनर डिफरेंशिएशंस को स्टडी करिए. आप एक दिन फियर समझिए, एक दिन एंजाइटी समझिए, डिल्यूजन समझिए. व्हाट इज डिल्यूजन, what is fear betrayed, what is fear extravagance, why opium I have used it in so many patients, you know, and I think lots of doctors must have used fear extravagance of opium. It's a single remedy. So when you see a patient has a fear extravagance, you are so sure your work is almost done. You know, what is extravagant मतलब जितनी लिमिट है उससे ज़्यादा. You know, पेशेंट बोलता है इतना तो ठीक है बट ये पूरा फैल ना जाए. You know, what is my concern, what is my fear, यार ये पूरे शरीर में फैल ना जाए. You will ask, ये तो 6 महीने से हो रहा था, आप अभी क्यों आए? You know, why you thought of coming to the doctor now? So that was the limit of the patient. So इतना ठीक था, रैश आ रहा था, but you know, अब ये चेहरे पे भी आने लगा है, मुझे डर लगने लगा है कि ये पूरे शरीर में ना फैल जाए. This is opium. So opium must be having, say, 400-500 more rubrics, and I'm not saying they're not important, but if you understand fear extravagance, your prescription, your study of that remedy, your totality would become much easier. Are you understanding? So the basic idea of this, you know, video is how we should study. So what we have tried to point out is, you understand the singular rubrics of a remedy, you understand the remedy ka core by understanding materia medica, and third, study FNF5 search pe jaake you study all the rubrics of the medicine. You know, sometimes we are able to derive something which is not written in materia medica. When I give you my explanation of a remedy and you ask me from where you have studied, it is difficult for me because I have not studied in a materia medica. When I study the rubrics, I can understand the travel of a drug, you know. So, you know, agaricus, I have not studied from any materia medica, but I have studied all the rubrics, and then I have derived, you know, that agaricus is this, and agaricus has, you know, impulse morbid. I'm not really sure of the rubrics now, but yes, answering aversion to Singh's talks will not answer the question. So when you study rubric also, you understand the remedy. For example, I'll share a case of spongia probably next time, and how you understand the spongia mind. Spongia mind is not very nicely given in our most commonly used materia medica. So how you have understood that? So the only key is hard work. Study remedies, study from whatever book, a good source that you can study from. Study from Materia Medica, study from the repertory, and study the single rubric of the case. Understand what is the core of the remedy, how will this remedy travel, and probably it would make life more easier. There are basic 10, 15, 20 rubrics or maybe 100 rubrics which are very, very oftenly used. You can make a list of it. If you have any queries, you can put it down in the group and ask ki, I will always answer your queries. But there are queries which are very weird. Can you explain cocculus? You cannot explain in 2 lines or 3 lines. Cocculus is a very vast remedy. So you have to take a full session or maybe 2 or 3 sessions to understand cocculus. But queries like the way I answered, what is the difference between anger suppressed and vexation, or when it is mortification, or when you will say the patient is embarrassed. Embarrassment complaints from general, it's opium. So when the patient comes to the clinic and feeling embarrassed about telling her complaints, you can think choti si baat ke liye she is feeling embarrassed, and you can think of opium. Timidity, business transaction is opium. These are very single remedies, single medicine rubrics, and it really, really helps you. So I'm giving you all this task is make a list of 15, 20, 50 commonly used rubrics and the remedy with it. And if you have any queries, get back to me. I will always answer. Probably next video, someone has asked me about sulfur, some cocculus or CPR. Probably I'll take one of these. But we can always take it. Finer differentiation is very, very important because the remedy change with slight differentiation in the rubrics. Yesterday in one of our Pune homeopathic forum karke, there is a forum, and we were discussing the fine differentiation. So what is the difference between helpless or discouraged, disappointment, or when the patient is disconcerted, because disconcerted only has ignitia. So rest of the medicines don't get disconcerted. So when it is despair, when it is hopelessness, when it is discouraged, right? So our repertory has finer details. So we should learn to differentiate, always differentiate. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि hopeful optimism and positiveness में, complaining or lamenting में, वैसे ही anger, vexation, mortification, indignation, ये remedies में you differentiate. And then for example, if you come to mortification or indignation, what is the indignation of Natramur? What is the pain of Staphys? Why Staphys is so prominent in indignation? And what indignation is righteous anger, where I feel it is right, my anger is right, this is justified anger. So in the same way, try to differentiate these rubrics. I hope this will answer your question, because I was getting it so often, that how do you study? Tell me a book. There is no single book that will give you the complete knowledge of any one remedy. There are so many. So I always feel Materia Medica and repertory should go hand in hand. Make a list of rubrics that comes very prominent, and un rubric ko, whatever your language is, Kannada, Malayali, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, try to convert those rubrics, because the patient doesn't come and talk to you in English always. So what you have to do is convert that language into your local language. This would really help. Sometimes when I'm very confused in a case, probably the case is going on for hours, say an hour or a half an hour, and the patient has talked, you just sit down, close your eyes and think, keep patient, what is that thing that patient is saying persistently? What is present, predominant, persistent? What is that thing which is bothering the patient the most? Because every line may have a rubric, every sentence may have a rubric, and you will be flooded with rubrics and nowhere to go, So in such cases, you just try to think in your local language that what is the thing that is troubling the patient most. For example, there are cases where the woman is abused or, looked down upon, scorned, being humiliated, and she still does for the family. So that can be a case of Natramur, CPR, Ignitia, Pulsatilla, whatever, or Calcarea. So why is that lady still continuing in the family? What is that thing that lady want? Does she want respect? She wants to be respected. It is Hammermillis. Or does she wants that her dignity, her has been its honor has been wounded, his dignity has been crushed, and she's talking about natrum? Or is it indignation with, suppressed lot of pent up grief and pent up problems? Or is it staphylos? Things like that. So these remedies are very, very close. Ignatia, natramium, sepia, staphylos, carcinosin, they come very, very close. They have a similar kind of problems. So you have to understand ki why this lady, what is making this lady cry, and what is bothering her a lot, and what are her assets, why she is able to sustain. Are you understanding? सीपिया डांसिंग में है, डांसिंग अमिलरेट में है, तो क्या ऐसी चीज है जो सीपिया को, एंड व्हेन सीपिया ब्रेक्स डाउन, व्हेन द सीपिया इज इन despair, miserable existence about his. So you can understand the travel, and when you understand the travel of a remedy, probably you'll be able to understand the person also in that perspective. So thank you all, hope this session helps you. If you like it, please like, subscribe it. I have a YouTube channel also. I've recently start posting these videos on YouTube, and whatever queries that you have, feel free to answer, ask the questions in the group and not on personal WhatsApp or something. It's much easier, and आपकी एक query होगी वो बहुत सारे लोगों की भी होगी, and probably it will help a larger audience. So the idea is to learn together, and I'm so happy that I started it. Thank you.